Hello and welcome to Wayne Hills High School on this windy Tuesday afternoon. I'm Jordan Kessel alongside Jon Vittas and Anthony Scudillo. We'll be here covering the state boys soccer game between the Wayne Hills Patriots and the Sparta Spartans. Now their name is the Sparta Spartans. Jon, what is the Greek meaning behind the Sparta Spartans?
Well, for those who are unaware, I'm very Greek, and Spartans, it flows very well, obviously. But Spartans, of course, refers to the great Greek warriors back in ancient Greece who just basically dominated and destroyed everyone in their path. And they're being sponsored by Nike, which is also a company that comes from the Greek word nika, which means to win in Greek. But these Sparta Spartans won't be winning today.
Well, Jon, that's a great point. You know, I love where your head's at. And now to you, Anthony, who's going to be your key player for the game today?
Well, if these Spartans are as dominant as we hear, I'm going to go with Mike DeDuke, the goalie for Wayne Hills. He's had a great season thus far, his senior season, and, he's just solid in the goal. So if he can keep it up, today, there's a good shot that they'll win.
And, Jon, back to you. If you had to pick one key player for today's game, who would it be?
I'm going to go with the senior forward, Sean Kennedy. He's a very passionate player, and he really needs to complement Junior Igosa, who's the main scoring guy on offense for Wayne Hills. If he can add another dimension to that offense and really put another threat in there for the Patriots, I think they should be a dynamic offense and put points up on the board or goals up on the board.
Now, guys, you both make great points. On the other hand, I'm going to look to the other side of the ball on Sparta. Anthony Saccone, I had talked to many different people from Sparta who have told me this guy's where it's at. He's going to put the ball in the back of the net, and that's who I'm looking out for today. Guys, we got a good game that's going to be on our hands in a couple minutes. I'm ready to go. I'm excited, and we'll be back after this.
And that's the game. That is the game. Your Wayne Hills Patriots beat the Northern Highlanders 4-1. There was pandemonium at Patriot Stadium. Wayne Hills 4, Northern Highlands 1.
And welcome back here to Wayne Hills High School as the captains meet at midfield. We're waiting to start the game, so we're going to listen in a couple seconds to what's going on as the coaches and the captains meet with the referees before the game begins.
Speaker for Blue.
Get this on camera, guys.
5, can I have your first name, please? Anthony. And I'm going to use 22 as a backup in case you're off the pitch. Okay, White Hills spokesman. Your first name, please. And Josh, in case you're off the pitch. 6, thank you very much. Go ahead, Keith.
Okay, gentlemen, first we just want to congratulate you for being here in the state tournament. It's a tribute to the success of your teams this year, and the coaches, great job, and to you captains leading your teammates to getting here. So congratulations and good luck today in the tournament game. Okay, coaches, are your teams legally and properly equipped? Yes. Thank you, coaches. Okay, gentlemen, sportsmanship's the word. You've heard it all season. We're not going to dwell on it today, but we're going to look at you as captains to lead your teams, and we thank you for helping us. Any questions, men? Okay. Blue, you're going to call the coin. We have a $50. We got tails, heads. Heads. Tails. In the air, I'll let it hit the ground.
Tails.
Tails is called. It is a tails. Your choice of ball or defend the goal.
Okay. Check this out.
This side? Okay, let's just turn around since we're...
Okay, and as you can see, Wayne Hills has
Lost the
toss, and they will be taking the ball first, going from right to left on your screen. And as we await the game here, guys, we are joined by the celebrity Anthony Scudillo. Anthony, tell me a little bit about your feelings on the game today.
I think Hills is gonna come away victorious today because, they just have a solid senior core, and Mike
Guys,
DeDuke,
can you get on the line
the
for me,
superstar goalie. I think he'll just have a great game.
And that you make a good point. Mike DeDuke is a great guy. I mean, he is in my human geography class, and he sits in the front. And he was focused. I mean, today, the teacher had to yell at him to pay attention because he was just thinking about this game. And when you're focused that much, there's pretty good chances you're going to be successful.
He tends to get in the zone many times a day, so
Yeah.
prepare for the games.
Yeah, I completely agree, Anthony. Jon, what are your feelings on the game?
I think it's going to be a great game, guys. State tournament game, obviously. First round. Wayne Hills is the overwhelming favorite. I believe Sparta comes in with a losing record. So they're not exactly up to the caliber of talent of Wayne Hills. Hills has had a great season. You expect them to come away with the win today here at home. And I'm looking forward to it.
As am I, John.
And as am I too, guys. So we're waiting here and waiting for our start. team should be joining the fields, heading onto the field soon. So, guys, we talked about the key players before the games. Now let's get away from the goalies and the defense. Who's going to put the points on the board for Wayne Hills?
I'm going to go with Sean Kennedy. I think he's going to have a big game today. I don't know what he's going to do, but he's going to have a big game.
You know what? Everyone looks at the two forwards, Sean Kennedy and Junior Agosa. Obviously, they're the two leading scorers for this team. I'm going to go with a unexpected source, junior midfielder Max Zager. I'm calling it. He's going to put one in the back of the net tonight.
That's a bold prediction.
And as you probably heard in the background, Sparta was getting pumped. Soccer is not a game where you hear lots of yelling and screaming, but you did hear it there. And I would be a little scared if I'm Wayne Hills right at the beginning of this game that they might not come out and hit somebody. They might just hit you. Forget about the actual soccer. They might just come out and tackle you. So I'm just watching my back a little bit as the teams are starting to get on the field and get to the center, and we await the start of the game here at Wayne Hills High School. Okay, we're waiting to start here. Checking both captains and the referees, and we're off here. Hills trying to figure out what to do. Sparta starts a little bit aggressive coming across the field. Sparta eventually able to take control, keeps it around their defensive side. Lots of yelling from the goalies early on, trying to get their teams working early. You know, that's something that's really, underestimated for most goalies is their ability to control their teams. And because, they are the only ones who have that vision of the whole field. They're the only ones who can control everything that's going on because they can see everything. And a little bit of violence there, as you saw in both Wayne Hills, Jake Rozier, and the referee gets hit by the ball right smack dab in the chest. And, we mentioned it with the girls' soccer game, the state game. We'll mention it again today. This game is violent. Whether it's the ball or the other player, it is violent. Hills is down. As we mentioned again in that soccer game, Vinny Peterson did get hit in the head with another head in the temple, and he was out of school for several weeks, still not playing because of a concussion, but it's good to see that he's back and he's healthy, and it really lets you realize how dangerous the game actually is, because you watch a soccer game and if you don't watch too closely, you don't realize it. But it's dangerous. A lot of people get hurt, and a lot of people get seriously injured. So, it's something that people don't realize, but they probably should, about how violent the game is and how physical and tough these soccer players have to be able to play it. Everyone thinks that soccer is the light part of fall sports and that football is the tough one. There's a lot of contact in soccer, almost as much as in football, and they don't have any pads here in soccer.
And Sparta
so you're going right at the ball all the time, and there's no protection for you anywhere. So it's really, really underestimated by a lot of non real intense soccer fans.
Yeah, I agree. But getting back to the game right now, it seems like Sparta has just controlled the ball for most of the time. Hills.
We are only 2.5 minutes into the game, so.
Yeah, and for like 1:30 of it, Sparta's had the ball. So I'm not a math whiz, but just averages wise.
Thank you, Bobby.
Sparta trying to make something happen here in the Wayne Hills end of the field.
Jordan, the pace has been much faster than the girls' game that we watched the other day. Everybody is a lot faster, and I know turf isn't an issue here. Everybody's planting well. The field is much drier than it was, so we should see a much faster and more exciting game.
Yeah, Anthony, I was going to say the same thing. Noticing right away as you see Sean Kennedy's going to be called for offsides. This is a lot faster pace than the girls' game you saw yesterday. Players are faster, bigger, and they kick the ball a lot harder. So they're a little more patient as well. I noticed the girls just kind of kick it down the field and see what happens. These guys set up design plays. They look for each other. They don't necessarily are always passing it up the field. They're looking for teammates to give the ball to, as you see a play here up the middle.
And Kennedy here with a chance to score. The cross, nobody there for Hills. As the first missed opportunity of the game, they did have a break. there got through the Sparta defense, but nothing doing for Hills, and the goalie will bring it out, and we'll see the first punt of the game, and wow, that's a doozy. We're used to seeing the girls punt and not be able to move the ball very much at all, and this is not not the girls kicking here. They can punt the ball on this level of soccer.
Well, the punter for the football team, Jordon, of course, Tim Divers, used to play soccer, so you can imagine that he can really boot the football. So you would imagine that all the soccer players can really have some nice legs on them.
And I mean, when we were watching the girls' county game, me and Ryan Catine were talking, or more Ryan Catine was talking, and I was listening about how there should be a girls' football team, and I'm still skeptical about it. But he seems to think that these girls' soccer players could be kickers for a girls' soccer team. I'm not really sure where the rest of the team would come from, but they would have quite a kicking team.
Yeah, they would. I agree. I mean, I wouldn't want to get in a fight with any of the girls' soccer players.
Well, maybe it would be a really short field and they just kick field goals every time.
You know what? It might be sort of an arena football league type thing. As we see another mighty punt from Mike DeDuke there. Kennedy trying to make something happen here. Cross, nobody there, and the Sparta defender will make the play. Now, guys, we are, as far as the baseball team, we are familiar with the Sparta Spartans.
Yes, we are.
They did beat us in the state tournament this past year. Let me tell you, they were quite a ball club. And if their soccer team is anything like their baseball team, we should be in for a very good game today.
Yeah, absolutely. So far, really the only two chances of the game for Hills, Sean Kennedy chipping the ball into the box, but no one's been home for them so far. So I'd like to see them make an adjustment on offense and try to get a trailer in there on the back door and make something happen in the box.
Maturity-wise, Jordan, it looks like Sparta has a bunch of 30-year-olds on their team, and
Well, they're growing big out there in Sparta. They you know, all the we had the same thing to say when we came out in baseball, and there was only 1 or 2 kids under 6 foot. You know, they like to grow 'em big out there in I believe Sussex County. They like, you know, they grow those boys on the farm pretty big. It might be something that's in the water. I'm not really sure, but all I know is that they're big. And Kennedy slips and falls there, trying to keep the ball in play. See if Hills can make something happen while the ball's in Sparta territory. In Wayne Hills baseball zone, Tyler Rubino getting tripped up there, and Hills will have a kick from about midfield. And now you look at Rubino, and you don't seem to think he's quite an athlete. He's pretty tall and lengthy, but you know, the kid can move. He's pretty strong. He's got some athletic ability. And Brozier with a shot, chips it over, in the goal early.
And boom goes the dynamite.
The goalie comes out early to try to stop the ball. It's knocked out of his hands with a header, and Brozier's able to chip it up over the defense into the goal as Hills takes an early 1-0 lead.
Well, the miscue of the Sparta goalie comes back to bite him in the butt as Jake Brozier puts a beautiful touch on that ball and lobbed it over the only Sparta defender that had a chance. Nice shot by the Patriots, and they're up 1-0 early.
Here in the 34th minute of the first half, they could put the ball in the net, Hills, and if they can do stuff like that the whole game, you know, it's a tough situation for the keeper whether to come out or just stay back. And that time the Sparta keeper makes some wrong decision, comes out, and it costs his team a goal. And Kenny trying to make something happen. Here's the ball ends up around midfield. And Mike Salviano bring the ball up the right side of the field. Looking for somebody to pass to. Looking for Jake Brozier in the middle. Got nothing happening. As Sparta tries to press the ball, though they don't have numbers. And you hear a lot more yelling from the players to each other, helping to try to control the game than you do from the girls' game. And I mean, it really does make a difference when you have experienced guys who can control your team and control what you're doing, because then you're less likely to make mistakes And that's what you need from an experienced team in a state tournament when every game is going to be rough.
Yeah, Jordan, that's a great point. The communication has been fantastic for, both teams. When the girls play, it seems like most of the communicating is done by the coach telling the players what to do, not by the players knowing what to do. So a big difference there.
And you're right, Anthony. You can't have the coach just feeding you along the whole way. I've seen coaches try to do it in all kinds of sports, including baseball. It just doesn't work. You're just better off if your players know what they're doing all the time.
And that's where you look to senior leadership. You talk about coaches on the field, experienced varsity players that come in with 2 or 3 years of varsity experience are very valuable, especially to teams that are playing for championships like these. So, Wayne Hills has a lot of seniors in their starting lineup, and that could be very beneficial to them in a playoff atmosphere like this.
Good job by Rubino there, closing off the forward, the scorer trying to make something happen there. Coming all the way downfield, and he showcased his speed a little bit right there. The Duke with the goal kick about out to midfield. Sparta can header it back, and somebody's trying to get something going. Hills really got lucky with the first goal that the keeper made the wrong decision. They were able to capitalize on it, but it's going to take a lot more than that to be able to score a couple more goals today.
And one thing I've noticed so far is that there's a lot of notable players for Wayne Hills that have yet to see the field. I don't know how the depth is for Sparta, but Wayne Hills seems to have a lot of it because there's at least 2 or 3 guys I can name that I know play significant minutes that have yet to see the field. And when you can rotate 14 or 15 guys in, keep the legs fresh, that's a huge advantage.
And I'm just kind of excited to see this punt here from Mike Duke. I want to really see how high and how far it goes. Wow. Wow, that is quite something. Never ceases to amaze me how some of these things in sports, some of these weird quirks, like how high you can kick the ball or how far you can kick it. It's really, really quite impressive.
Jordan, I'd really love to see a goalie convert to an NFL or any football kicker. I think it would be incredible because they just have the strongest legs, and the ability to kick a soccer ball that far is incredible.
Well, you saw something like it in the replacements. They did bring in a soccer player to come.
He was
Nigel.
wiry.
Yeah, they brought in Nigel to come kick, and although he was smoking on the field and did owe a lot of money in gambling debts, he was able to kick those 65-yard field goals like it was nothing. And despite the fact that Shane Falco pulled the ball from him and he broke his leg to try to save him, he was quite a kicker.
You guys talking about the transition from soccer goalie to football kicker. The difference is in soccer,
the ball is
you don't.
round in soccer.
Well, that obviously, but then you don't have 11 250-pound men coming at you trying to take your head off in soccer. So it would be interesting to see how a soccer player would adjust to that.
John, you also have 9 250-pound men blocking for you at the same time. So it's novel theory, but the ball is also not different colors in football.
Well, I think we all can agree that the sports are quite different, despite the fact that they're both referred to as football. Now, that's something that's always intrigued me. How come American football was named football? They only really kicked the ball with the foot only a couple times on punts and kickoffs and field goals. But why call it football?
Sean Kennedy wasn't happy with that offsides call, but it makes me wonder why they don't have more officials in playoff soccer games like this, because on that ball, the official was looking at the kid kicking the ball, and he really didn't get a good judgment of where Kennedy was on the play. He probably was offsides, but he really just had to turn around and guess and assume that Kennedy was offsides because the entire Sparta team was complaining. And I just wonder why in a big game like this, a state playoff game, why they don't have more officials on the field.
You do make a good point. It's shouldn't be a money issue at this point. It's a missed opportunity for Sparta. They put it off the side post of the goal, and Mike DeDuke is able to jump on it before anything scary happens. So, you know what? Congratulations there for Wayne Hills, because you just got a quite an achievement of not giving up a goal on that.
Happy birthday.
Ooh, violent tackle there. You know, people do get hurt in this sport. I don't know if I've mentioned it yet today, but it is a violent game. People do get hurt. Lots of injuries, including the head. The ball is pretty hard in soccer. If somebody was to kick it at another player's head, they would get hurt. I mean, the ball will hurt you as well as the other players if you both go up for a header and get hit. You know, you could end up with a concussion or stitches or something of that sort. And I would be a little bit scared that I was going to get hurt or kicked in the face by a ball.
Or
You know,
cleat.
balls don't really, you know, have a place in my beautiful facial area. I mean, I don't really want to get hit with a soccer ball in the face. It just wouldn't work for me personally. Anthony, I don't know, but me personally, no.
Well, Jordan, you mentioned the head injuries, and it's really been a theme for Wayne Hill soccer this year. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. 3 to 4 kids, by my count, have had serious head and concussion injuries this year. Benny Titel had one earlier in the season, and of course we talked about Vinny Peterson, who was a starter on this varsity team, who missed a great deal of time with a serious head injury. And you don't, like you said, a lot of people don't think of soccer as a sport where you could get seriously hurt, especially above the waist, and it's been proven otherwise this year.
And we get down to about 24 minutes left here in the first half. And DeDuke will have another goal kick, and we want to see what he does with it. You know, it never ceases to amaze me. These kicks are unbelievable. Not really sure what Sparta was trying to do there. That kick was from pretty far away. I don't know if that was an attempted shot or a pass, because there was nobody in the area, and it wasn't a great shot if it was a shot, because obviously it wasn't anywhere near the goal.
Well, you know, George, we saw Megan McVeigh hit one yesterday from 25 yards out, and that tells me that there's no doubt that a guy could hit one probably from about that range. So if you got the leg to do it, why not give it a shot?
Trying to get across or something going here for Sparta. Nothing doing on the slip. And Brandon Hill clears it back out of play. Sparta will have a throw in. Just trying to break up the rhythm here for Sparta as they're starting to get something going here in the Wayne Hills territory. Ooh, nifty footwork there. And Sparta will get a throw in down the field.
I don't know 21.
Sparta trying to make something happen here. And nothing doing out of bounds. And a throw in for Sparta. And they're able to clear something trying to do it from Wayne Hills. Down out the right side towards Salviano, seeing if maybe he could send a cross in to Kennedy, who is in the box waiting for something. And a nice job by the Sparta defender putting it out of play.
Like you said, good job there by the Sparta defender. Knock that one out of bounds. Give his midfield a chance to get back and defend the throw-in.
Now, guys, we mentioned it yesterday at the girls' game about the fashionable decisions of the players. Now we see on Wayne Hills a couple different shoes, cleats, a couple different colors. In you see Jared Austin there, sort of a goldish yellow and
Mustard yellow.
a mustard yellow, as some would say. We've also seen some neon green and some orange, red orange I don't know. That brings up a good point, guys. What's the difference between orange, red, and red, orange?
You know, Jordan, I always wondered that myself. I mean, Crayola, it seems like the company that comes up with these ideas, and that maybe the word that comes first has a little more tint to it. If it's red orange, maybe it's a little more red. Orange red's a little more orange. It's a good question.
But anyway, back to the shoes. You know, you go in. I feel like these soccer players are trying to make a fashion statement with the spikes and the different colors. As you see two Sparta skirts running into each other at going for a header, and that could be dangerous. You don't really ever think about your own teammates. And, you know, that could be another violent aspect of the game. And today we're just bringing out all the physicalities of the game that, you know, people could get hurt. But anyway, you walk into a shoe store. Guys, let me ask you. You walk into a shoe store, what color soccer spike are you getting?
I don't play soccer, Jordan, so.
But I'm saying, hypothetically, if you were to be playing soccer, what color pair of shoes would you be buying?
I know for a fact that I'm not that great at soccer, so I don't want to stand out at all. I'm thinking probably white or black, but you know,
standard colors.
Standard colors. But
and that's
if this was an indoor soccer league, Jordan, I'm going all out because I'm amazing at indoor soccer.
And what color would it be?
It would be probably a mix of a hot pink and a dark purple.
Hot pink and dark purple. Now that really is a weird mix and match. I'm not sure if you could ever find a cleat like that. But, you know, you brought up a good point. If you're not that great, you don't want to point out, bring attention to yourself if you're not that great. As quite a mighty kick there goes nowhere near the goal. And out of play as Mike DeDuke will have a goal kick. Now, John, to you, if you were to pick one pair of cleats, what color would it be?
Well, no, you know, Jordan, you pointed out yesterday at the girls' game that it's not how you play, it's how you look. So, I mean, it's a decision you really have to think about for a long time, and I would go with the color that matches my team. I mean, you want to look good, and I'm not the kind of guy that would want to draw attention to myself, especially with my skills of soccer, which are lacking. So I'd probably go with maroon or white if I was on Wayne Hills, and just something that matches the uniform.
See, I don't know, guys. I think I'd want to stand out. If we were maroon and white, maybe something with a maroon tint, but I'd want them to be like the brightest shade of like magenta would be phenomenal. Like as bright as it can get. Like you look at them and you get blinded by the color of the cleat, and it's just it may be a turquoise type of something. And I mean, I'm looking over here to Mike DeDuke, and his goalie gloves are turquoise, which made me think of it. You know, what color goalie gloves would you pick as the deciding winner of the gloves?
Jordan, I have to go with Mr. DeDuke. It is a nice, subtle blue, almost like almost a dove's egg, something like that, like turquoise, like sky. It's got a nice hint of black in it and some stripes. That is much nicer than the lime green color that Sparta has.
See, George, judging by the cowboy hat you're wearing, I have no doubt that you would pick some type of bright color to wear. But my question to you is, as Junior Agosta gets called for offsides, my question to you would be, how do you expect to keep them that bright? I mean, as you go through the course of the season, it's going to get worn down by mud and dirt and things of that
John,
nature.
who said that I only have to have one pair? I mean, if I love soccer that much, I would have every single pair of cleats imaginable.
So would you then donate the shoes to charity or sell them or perhaps line them up in a trophy case? What would you do with the rest of them?
Well, I mean, I'd probably only have a couple pairs, and I'd wear the muddy ones when it is muddy out, and try to conserve it that way. But I would come up with as many cleats as possible, and if I could, I'd probably wear them year after year until I'd end up throwing them out eventually. Sparta with a free kick here, trying to cross it, get something going, tie up the game. And missed opportunity there for Sparta. On the cross, they might have had something that they could be able to get going, but nothing doing there. And the ball straggling around midfield. Nobody really doing much with it here. Hill's trying to get something going. They don't have numbers here. But a pass out in front to Junior trying to get something. But nothing doing as the keeper decides to come out again. This time it was the right decision. And he was able to get the ball, unlike the last time in which he missed it. And Hills was able to take advantage and score.
See, it's an interesting call for me that Coach Graham took 20 minutes to get the star forward Junior Agosta into the game. I mean, he's the #1 weapon on offense for the Patriots, and it's interesting for me that they keep their best player on the bench till midway through the first half. I mean, talk about the element of surprise. Maybe that's what he's aiming for, but it's just an interesting call.
I mean, he could also be looking there to keep his legs fresh for the whole game. It's something that you got to think about when you're going this hard. Always, you got to try to conserve your energy for the entire 80 minutes, as opposed to just playing the first 20 as hard as you can.
Jordan, going back to the topic of cleats and gloves, what about headbands? Now, in female soccer, we see a lot of pre-wrap going around the ladies' hair, but in male soccer, when the guys have long hair, they actually wear full-on headbands to keep it, like really out of their face. It's almost like they have like a lion's mane on their head. It's strange.
I'm not really quite sure what you're trying to get at, Anthony, so I'm not gonna talk about it too much, as the ball still straggles around midfield. Neither team really able to take control yet. With the Hills taking the 1-0 lead, they do put the pressure on Sparta a little bit to try to score. But you really got to get 2 to be comfortable. We saw that in the girls' state final game, and how once Hills scored once, not a big deal. But when Megan McVeigh put the ball into the goal on a wild and wacky shot, it really took the life out of High Point. And the big major defender there, I believe her name is Jamie Christensen. She's you could see it in her. She sort of just gave up and had enough for the day once the second goal went in.
Tyler Rubino there did a great job of shielding off the Sparta forwards and letting that ball roll out of bounds and giving the golden leg of Mike Duke a chance to boot the ball down the field as he did.
Nothing doing there for Hills as they tried to press, but the ball seems to be spending a lot more time in Wayne Hills territory after the first goal. But we can see Sparta actually will take advantage of the opportunity, or it will go to waste.
Jordan, that is true, but it seems that Wayne Hills has been having much of the control over the ball, even if it is in their territory. I mean, their defense has been rather good so far, really not letting anything happen. There's only been one missed opportunity for Sparta.
Shot not
Make it
even
2.
close to the goal as Sparta tried to put it in. We got the first sub for Hills since Junior entered the game, and Sparta's really just looks like the intensity's a little bit too much, as all the shots seem to be sailing up on them, trying to put too much into it, and they're not putting it anywhere near the goal.
You see there the sophomore Jason Gold checking in for junior midfielder Evan Baum. So, like I said, Wayne Hill's rotating 14 to 15 guys. I mean, Max Zager hasn't even seen the field yet, and he's usually a starter on this varsity team. So Hills is gonna have the advantage as far as fatigue goes later on in the game, in my opinion.
I believe that Zager is coming off a broken rib or a somewhat serious injury like that. So I'm not sure how much time he's honestly going to get. But it appears that he is warming up on the sideline to go in.
Well, Anthony, just as you said that, he did step up and start warming up. Zager did have a broken rib earlier in the season. I believe he missed about a week, but he's played in the last few games, so I'd expect him to get in here.
Duke comes out and takes the ball away from the Sparta offense. And we will see a punt here. Another one of these doozies, I expect. Not quite as high this time. Does go far. Looks like he's trying to make something happen. More of a pass and just putting it up and letting his offense try to score. Junior settles the ball up the middle. And a shot just wide right for Junior. You know, that's really the first opportunity we've seen Wayne Hills have since the goal on the Jake Brozier little lob over the keeper. So, you know, it's a good sign to see that Wayne Hills has, you know, started to put some pressure on Sparta here in the first half.
You know, one thing I've noticed in this game is that Wayne Hills does have a little bit of a height advantage on those jump balls like you just saw there. They're pretty much, I'd say more than half of their team is over 6 foot or at least 6 foot. So, I mean, on a header in the box, I think that could be an advantage that Wayne Hills takes advantage of.
But I mean, John, I am going to mention that we did talk about it earlier, how they like growing their boys big in Sparta. You know, whether it's something in the water or something else, you know, they do like to grow them big out there in Sparta.
Good number. Did you ever watch the soccer match?
Again, another ball sails high above the crossbar for Sparta. Again, I'm telling you, it must be some sort of intensity or something that they have that they just keep putting the ball over the top of the crossbar and not getting these opportunities to score.
Well, with under 10 minutes to go, Hills, as you just saw, is checking in a pair of junior substitutions as Max Zager and Benny Titel checking into the game for senior Sean Kennedy and Jared Ostern. So Coach Graham trying to get his senior leaders a little breather here as they will probably be playing most of the second half. And Zager and Titel are getting their first action of the day, so we'll see them try to make an impact.
And at this time, we'd like to welcome in a guest, Kevin Solomon, here joining us now for a little bit of the remainder of the first half. So, Kevin, you've been here watching the game. What has been your perspective of what's going on so far?
How are you, Jordan? You know, I'm just coming out here. You know, I like to support my fellow Patriots anytime I can. You know, it's been a little bit of a slow, you know, first half here. Thankfully, Wayne Hills is on top here. And, you know, I'm just looking forward to seeing a competitive game.
Opportunity here for Wayne Hills. Keeper's out of the goal if they can get a shot off. In the middle, a header, and nobody there to finish for Hills
Good
as
effort
the keeper
there.
comes up and gets it.
Yeah, strong effort by Benny Titel to get that ball away from the goalkeeper and center it. And he really gave Junior a chance to make a play in the box, but the header was a little bit too high.
You know, it's a little bit of a trend here. You might realize last year Wayne Hills played Sparta in their state tournament. It's a little bit of a coincidence here that, you know, they're playing them in soccer too. Hopefully they can come out on top. Unfortunately, the baseball team wasn't able to.
As Hills settles down the ball and tries to clear it upfield here. And with a 1-0 lead in the first half, about 8 minutes left. Wayne Hills with a 1-0 lead. Here behind the school at Wayne Hills High School in Wayne, New Jersey. That is the United States of America. And so far over the Spartans, John, you gave us a little bit of a meaning before the game on what the Spartans were in Greek. And, you know, they really haven't been onto their definition so far. And a lot of times you will see that when a sport makes a team decides to pick a name because of an alternate meaning. But a lot of the times they won't actually, you know, have that meaning. It will be a lot of other things. And the Sparta Spartans is one perfect example of that.
Just for a moment here, we're going to welcome in the senior #1 fan of this Wayne Hills boys soccer team, Brandon Rosenbloom. Brandon.
It's been a good year watching my boys. I have a lot of good friends on the team. About 5 of my best friends play. I've been an avid soccer fan for a while. I used to play back in my heyday, but the sport just came to me, and then I fell in love with baseball. And now I just like to support my friends. Wayne Hills, they've had some good times, it's had some rough times this year, but I think a win here could do big things, and they can maybe make a run in the States as a sleeper. I don't know what you guys think, but that's just my opinion.
You know, it is a good point, Brandon. And as you saw while you were talking there, Sparta missed a great opportunity there with a handball in the box of Wayne Hills, and it was a great opportunity for them, but it was missed as Hills retains their 1-0 lead as we wind down to the end of what should be the first half. We only got about 6 or so minutes left.
Plus stoppage time.
Plus stoppage time. I mean, yesterday we did have some trouble with the clock, as normally it stops with about 2 minutes left, and the stoppage time is then added on from there. Yesterday it wasn't. It went down to about 2 seconds left until somebody stopped the clock, and then stoppage time was added on to that. It was a little scary, though. Some people thought that the alarm was going to come off, the buzzer was going to come off the scoreboard, and disrupt the game. Hopefully we won't see that problem today, and somebody will stop the clock. Hill's trying to make something happen here, but nothing doing. We'll end up with a corner kick, and this is when you see a lot of the opportunities for Wayne Hills and for the Sparta Spartans as they try to put the ball in the net on corner kicks. They are great opportunities for teams to score. Just because you have so many men in the box, in the opposing team's box, all you have to do is head it in, and you'll get yourself a nice 2-0 cushion if you're Wayne Hills.
Rob Salviano is going to be taking this corner kick, and it'll be interesting to see what Wayne Hills does because this is the first time we've had a corner kick all day.
Mike Salviano on the corner kick.
Ball is up, seems to be a little deep.
Josh.
A header. What a save by the Sparta
Number 19, Josh Coughlin with a great effort. Beautiful tip save by the keeper.
Wow, what a job by the keeper. You know, you're taught to just put the ball over the top of the crossbar, but it's not often that you see a keeper do it so effectively as he did right there. That's a great job by that keeper, and an opportunity that should have been ends up not being for Wayne Hills.
Mike Salviano to attempt a corner kick from the other side of the field, looking for the same thing as the other time. Could be a good chance for Wayne Hills to get an early 2-0 lead. I got it.
It's a great clear by Sparta. They have numbers now coming back the other way.
Sparta's running down the right, could have some numbers.
The center, but nobody there so far.
It's a scrum in the box. What could happen? Anything.
And Salviano down. We just saw him on the offensive side of the ball, able to clear it out, as Sparta will make a sub with about 3.5 minutes left, plus stoppage time here in the first half. And, you know, it was a missed opportunity for Hills on the other end of the field. You know, it's you don't get that many opportunities through high school soccer to
Sean,
score, and
number
when
12.
you do get it, it's when you need to capitalize on it.
Number 12, Sean Bernhardt, just checked in the game for number 6, Jeff Petasia. So let's see if he can make an impact with about 3 minutes to go in the first half.
And Mike DeDuke's coming out to get the ball here. He's able to dribble it back into himself and pick it up. You know, you saw the decision by the Sparta keeper earlier in the first half to make the decision to come out from the goal instead of staying home, and it ended up biting him in the rear end. They weren't able to score.
Excellent ball by Junior Ragoza. Number 22, Max Zager on a shot, blocked. Jake passes to the box. Sparta brings the ball back down the other way.
Sparta able to turn it around, see if they can get something going here at the end of the first half to tie this game up at 1.
Ball at midfield. With about 2 minutes to go, stoppage time will just start about right now.
And again, we have the same problem as yesterday. The clock doesn't get turned off, but eventually it does. Yesterday, the clock went all the way down to about 3 seconds before they stopped it. Unlike today, when it's supposed to stop only in
Sparta
about
on
2
an
minutes
outside
left.
ripper.
You can't cut him off. Thank you, Brendan, for your input.
We've had a couple guest appearances today. We'd like to thank both Brandon Rosenbloom and Kevin Solomon for their input, as well as Bobby Gross early in the first half. So, Brandon, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, thank you.
Just put it in there.
And the free kick put into the box, headed away by Sparta. A little aggressive play there on Mike Salviano. You can sort of see, again, the physicality of the soccer game. And it's a recurring point always in the sport about how physical everything actually is.
Comes Zager up the left sideline. He's really starting to make things happen now. Coming in toward the end of the half, he makes a move, gets it to Junior in the box.
Oh, is he a nice corner
Kicked
kick?
out. We get
maybe?
another opportunity here for Hills to potentially score on another corner. See if they can make something happen, unlike the last time down where they ran a good play, just didn't end up going in their favor.
Well, here, as you see late here in the first half, the juniors have really started to step up and make an impact. Max Zager came in with about 10 minutes to go along with Benny Titel. They've really started to make some plays on offense along with Tyler Rubino, who's been all over the field today. So the juniors complementing that great senior leadership we talked about earlier.
We see a little bit of tension between the two coaches, and between Mike Schill's assistant coach Graham here. A little bit of confusion about the ball boys. You know, it hasn't been the smoothest game for them, but as shots are going all over the place and balls are going out of bounds like crazy, it's hard for just two ball boys to be able to keep putting the ball back into play and keep it running as smooth as it could.
Guys, I don't know about you, but I don't know if Mr. Shale is one of the guys I want to be messing with. He's kind of intimidating and scary in a lot of ways.
And that'll be the end of the first half. Wayne Hills here with a 1-0 lead heading into the second half. And guys, what have been your thoughts on the first half?
Well, obviously, Wayne Hills got the quick score earlier in the first half, and that really set the tone for this first half of action. And Sparta had their chances, but they weren't able to capitalize. And Hills had put some pressure on them late in the half. And I'm interested to see how they come out in the second half and keep the pedal to the metal.
John, you're exactly right. So that'll be it here at the first half. We'll be back after this for the second half of action here at Wayne Hills High School.
Welcome back to the lawns of Wayne Hills High School. I'm Jon Vittas, joined by Brandon Rosenbloom and Kevin Solomon as we get ready for the second half of action here at Wayne Hills High School, with the Patriots leading the Sparta Spartans by a score of 1-0. Guys, we saw a very competitive first half. Hills is up 1-0 heading into the second half. What do you expect to see them do in the second half?
Hills needs to come out strong. They were looking a little flat towards the end of the second half. Sparta had a few good chances. And I think Hills just needs to be fired up. They're at home. They cannot let this opportunity slip away at home field in the first round. So I think they need to come out strong, head on a swivel, and go hard.
And, you know, like we mentioned before, they've been frequently subbing in. So I feel like they're going to have, you know, the upper leg when it comes to fatigue. And, you know, I think that's going to help in the amount of energy that they put into this game.
As we notice now in the start of the second half, the two starting forwards, Sean Kennedy and Junior Ragoza, their two leading goal scorers, are out. So they're saving their legs. They have two young kids, Benny Titel and Molian. So they're just looking for the young guys to pressure the defense, get them aggravated until about 10 minutes in, where they're going to bring in the big gunners, hopefully to put a goal in.
Yeah, right now they're just asking the younger guys to hold down the fort for a while and maintain that lead. Sparta's going to try to get something going here as their offense was stifled by a solid Wayne Hills D in the first half. See him trying to get something going inside, but denied by Wayne Hills as Evan Baum tries to corral the ball.
Now, as you can see, Wayne Hills is moving from left to right. They're going to have the wind at their backs for this half. What kind of difference is that going to make? And, how is that going to help them this half?
Well, I think it's going to help them because they're going to be shooting against the wind, so the ball is not going to fly off their feet as much. So I think it can help with the curve.
You just saw a beautiful ball from Evan Baum leading Benny Titel into the box. No one was there for the cross, and Benny tried to put a shot on goal. Strong shot, but nice save by the Sparta keeper.
Sparta's looking to attack now, counter-attack. The beautiful play by Baum.
Evan
Baum takes out 2 players right in front of us.
Evan wins the battle for the soccer ball there. Gets it deep into Sparta's zone. Strong play by him as he was outnumbered by a couple Spartans.
Sparta looking to make a run right now. Number 10 with the ball.
Something I've noticed today, all day, is the Wayne Hills defense talks very well as Sparta gets one into the box here. Scooped up easily by Mike DeDuke for what I believe is only his second or third save of the afternoon.
That was a nothing shot. The defense should not be worried about that.
And like I said, that defense has been talking to each other the whole game, and they've done a great job of communicating, not letting any Spartan players get open in the box.
John, you're completely right. That's what happens. A lot of times goalies have to come in and they have to, they have to control what's going on by letting everyone know, where everyone is and where they need to be able to mark every man.
The goalie's job out there is to be a captain, to be a ruler, and DeDuke does a great job communicating with his defenders and leading his team. He could be one of the best goalies in all of
Rubino with
County.
a shot comes real close to putting it in. But that is good stuff from Tyler Rubino there. It's a good ball.
Do not be fooled, folks. The voice of Jordon Kessel has returned to the broadcast booth, replacing the great Kevin Solomon. So we're going to be subbing in our announcers as this team subs in their personnel.
And it will be a corner kick here. A lot of movement from Wayne Hills trying to make something happen. Keeper comes out, just sort of knocks it, and it's cleared away by the Sparta defender. So missed opportunity for Hills as we have a break coming down the other side of the field. And a good job there by Brandon Hill to knock it away from number 10, K.O. Silva, who had a good opportunity on the break, but couldn't make anything happen. So Sparta on a throw-in, but Hills is able to clear it away. And another opportunity for Sparta trying to get control of the ball, bring it downfield, and tie this game up at 1. We're about 5 minutes into the second half here at Wayne Hills. The Patriots have a 1-0 lead over the Spartans from Sparta. How appropriate, the Sparta Spartans. But anyway, they were not able to score in the first half, and so far in the second half, as Hills does have what seems to be a commanding 1-0 lead in a game that not too many opportunities are coming around for scores.
There was just a little penalty over there, a little obstruction against Brandon Hill.
And quite a mighty kick there from Kaufman. And yeah.
There's a push off on number 22, Wayne Hills on the free kick.
Hills tried to be sneaky there, moving the ball up further than it was supposed to. That happens a lot of time. There's no real spot for where the fouls are taking place, so the soccer players try to move it up a little bit and give themselves more opportunities to score than they really should have.
The strongest soccer player in the state on the free kick.
And the goalie tumbles and falls. You know, as they say, big trees fall hard.
They talked the whole first half. Jordan, something I noticed that we talked about yesterday with the girls, you know, we see in the professional soccer the captains wearing the armbands, and Anthony didn't know what I was referring to, but you see it today with the Wayne Hills captains wearing that band on their right bicep. Yesterday we saw the girls players, the High Point captain wearing the band on her right calf. But interesting contrast between the girls and boys.
The band is just a sign of honor, and that their teammates truly trust you to be their leader.
Sparta missed opportunity there.
Excellent defense by Brandon Hill and Jake Brozier, to name the few. Sparta is applying great pressure the second half. They are completely outplaying Wayne Hills.
Get rid of it! Do something with it!
And nothing happening for Sparta against Hills.
Coming into the game is one of my best friends, number 2, Jared Yellow Cleats Ostern, looking to make an impact for the team.
And out of play goes towards Sparta as they're keeping the pressure on early in the second half. They've made a couple adjustments as they try to put some pressure on to get Wayne Hills to score. Nice play there by the junior Evan Baum, but nothing able to come of it as Sparta gains control of the ball.
Evan Baum is the future of this program. He's a young player looking to play great time this year on the varsity level, and next year it will be his team, and he will be the leader.
And a handball for Sparta as Hills will take control. Despite the fact that they were bringing pressure on, nothing able to happen. And Hills will have a free kick from around their corner.
Josh Kaufman has got to have one of the strongest legs in the state. His corner kicks, free kicks, goal kicks, they are magnificent. All that time in the weight room has paid off great for Josh. His nickname should be the Leg.
And offsides there. Didn't look like it was that great a call, but evidently Benny was offsides. But Sparta sort of pressed there as the ball was in their territory. They pressed and didn't give Hills a chance to score by drawing Benny offsides.
You know, as we await for Junior and Sean Kennedy to check back in, the Wayne Hills forwards have done a pretty good job, in my opinion, so far. We mentioned Sparta has been able to apply some pressure to Wayne Hills' defense, but when Wayne Hills has got the chance to put the ball on net, they've done a good job. Benny Titel and whoever else who's joined him on that offensive front, they've done a pretty good job of returning the favor to Sparta.
Benny and Zach Moley are the future attackmen for this Wayne Hills team, so getting this valuable playing time in the state game is very big.
Shot and a save there for Mike DeDuke. And another mighty punt. That's been the best of the day. The keeper comes out and he's able to take it. Playing a little fetch with the two keepers here. And Sparta regains control, bringing it upfield, trying to make something happen. As we can see now, Sean Kennedy and Junior about to enter back into the game. And, Coach Graham did rest them about the first 10 minutes of the second half, so make sure that they're fresh for the second half because they are the most important parts to this Wayne Hills team, and they're looking to score some more goals before the end of the game. And by resting them, they give themselves a good opportunity.
Excellent defense applied by the Patriots right now. The pressure is magnificent. They're keeping the Spartans out of the box, and this could help them.
Sparta, as we mentioned, has kept the pressure on for most of it. Hill's not really looking to attack that much, while their two senior forwards are waiting to re-enter the game.
Look at the containment. Excellent. Excellent defense. I just can't keep saying it enough.
And that's a great play there by Baum. And he does clear it out of play. And Sparta will have a throw-in, trying to make something happen. You know, that was quite a head of hair on number 14 for Sparta. He's got quite a rug on the top of his head. I mean, some people might refer to him as being the Spartan.
Checking into the game are the two main scorers for the Wayne Hills team. Sean Kennedy replacing Molly, and Junior Ragoza replacing the junior number 3, Benny Titel. As Jake Brozier will throw the ball in. Pardon me, Jared.
Jared Austin will take the throw-in, but Hills isn't able to control it out to Sparta. And you know, now I've watched 2 days of soccer in the past 2 days, and I keep waiting for somebody to just sort of do a flip and throw. You know, some people do refer to it as the flip throw. And another offsides call on Sean Kennedy. He's having a rough day with these calls. They've called him offsides a couple times and a couple fouls on him. But back again to the flip throw, I always wondered how that would work. If somebody was able to flip and then keep both feet on the ground as they went to go throw it. It always interested me, and I wait the day when I get to see it.
Going back to the flip throw that Mr. Kessel was discussing, at a county game when I was I would recall a freshman, a girl from Lakeland did a flip throw against Clifton in the semifinals of the counties. One of the coolest things I've ever seen at a live sporting event.
And I just want to take this time to point out how awesome Tyler Rubino is. I mean, he's an awesome kid. I know him through baseball, and you know, he's just an awesome, nice, you know, lanky looking kid. And you know, he's a good kid. So I just want to give him a quick shout out because you know we all love him here behind the scenes at Wayne Hills TV.
Tyler Rubino is just simply a Doug, as he calls a lot of people. That's his go-to move, the Dougie.
And I would like to point out that he does join. You know, you've heard Kevin Solomon today and many other Wayne Hills TV personalities on the 30-minute drill, weekly Tuesdays and Fridays at 7:30. Kevin, would you please correct me if I'm wrong? Is it 7:30 or 7 o'clock?
It is 7:30, Jordan.
So you will be able to see the 30-minute drill at 7:30. I know it used to be 7. I'm not sure. I think they changed it, but now it is 7:30. So tune in then, and if you tune in ahead of time, you might be able to catch the multi-purpose 272 Berdan. And always just tune in to Channel 77 to see if one of our Wayne Hills TV productions are on, whether it's a boys soccer game, girls soccer game, football game, animal shelter information, or corporate breakfasts. I mean, and always tune to Channel 77 for your first information on whether there are snow days or not as we reach these cold winter months here in the northeast of the United States of America. So Sparta's able to settle the ball, looking to try to make something happen here. And a good play by Jason Gold, trying to beat out a smart defender of the ball, but he just can't do it. You know, he is little compared to this guy who's running down the field.
22 has got some size on him.
Nick DeSoma, he is a big fella. And once again, they like to grow their boys big out there in Sparta.
When I was at Sparta, when I played them in the States of lacrosse my sophomore year, in the background of the lacrosse field, there was a cattle farm where there were buffalo and horses and deers and antelope. Just going back to Jordan, how they just grow them big in Sparta.
And it seems that we do play them in a lot of these sports, but whether it's soccer, baseball, lacrosse, or potentially football this year, which brings me to another point, John. I mean, what do you have to say about the PowerPoint situation for the Wayne Hills football team at this moment right now?
Well, George, we did talk about this yesterday at the girls' soccer game. Right now, Wayne Hills sitting at the 2 seed, behind only the undefeated 8-0 Tenafly team, who we've yet to see play. This Sparta team that we see here playing soccer is ranked number 3 in football. But the team that stands out for me is Pascack Valley, currently the number 4 team after losing to Ramapo this week, so they're now 7-1, along with Wayne Hills and Sparta. But Pascack Valley is a team that I think could really threaten us as Wayne Hills Patriots for that state title. We saw them play Wayne Hills twice last year as the headers tries to lead Ragosa, but Ragosa's in the box. The shot goes high. Well, we saw Pascack Valley twice last year, once in the regular season where the score was tied at halftime, and then we saw in the state semifinals, Pascack Valley was actually winning going into the 4th quarter. And fortunately, Tom DiBianca was able to lead his team from behind, and Wayne Hills came away with the victory and went on to their 6th straight state title. But I can't wait for that game. It'll probably come around in the semifinals if it does, between Wayne Hills and Pascack Valley. So, I mean, that's what stands out for me looking at the PowerPoint.
As the coaches go at it, kind of, talking about the ball boy.
So John, back to the football. Pascack Valley, the perennial NBIL powerhouse. They are the team to be reckoned with besides Wayne Hills, from what it seems to be in this group. And the keeper again comes out. From what I've noticed, he's been quite aggressive so far today, coming to get the ball.
Oh my God. Junior is just shaking bacon.
And the shot is wide right. Another opportunity for Hills. And they're starting to really put the pressure on Sparta as they're putting more shots on goal as we're going on here in the second half.
Well, Brandon, you're absolutely right. Junior Agosta shaking and baking in the box. I mean, he's really eased into this game. Started out a little bit slow, but as this clock continues to wind down here, it's still a 1-goal game. Junior's starting to turn it on. I'd like to see him put one in the back of the net sooner or later.
And that might be the strategy point that Coach Graham was looking for when he rested Kennedy and Junior in the beginning of the second half, about the first 10 minutes, looking for them to be fresh at this point to bring the pressure on. And it seems to be working so far, as they've only been in the game about 10 minutes. But the pressure has seemed to mount for Wayne Hills on Sparta.
Well, as Dick Vitale would say, Junior Agosta is a PTP, or primetime performer. He steps up in big games and scores those big goals, and this is certainly a big game, and I would expect him to do that once again.
John, excuse me for a moment, but I believe yesterday you called me out for using other people's lines, and in fact, right there you just quoted Dick Vitale.
Well, I did cite my source and gave Dick Vitale credit. Unlike you take it as your own.
I don't take other people's comments.
Okay, guys. Well, that should be enough of that. I'm sure we can find a third-grade peer mentor that can solve this problem at a later date. As Junior puts out a good ball to Brozier down the field, who did score the first goal, and there seemed to be some sort of a shove there, but no whistle. As Sparta's trying to bring the ball up to the near sideline, and a good tackle there. Good tackle, able to stop the Sparta momentum.
I don't know if you guys have noticed it, but Evan Baum has been the X factor in this one, especially the second half and the latter stages of the first half. I mean, he's won so many battles for the ball, and he's really made an impact on this game along the near sideline here.
Sparta trying to put the ball into the box, make something happen. Fancy little footwork there, but nothing doing for Sparta so far. Trying to set her in the middle. Jared Oster with a nice play. Real body control there to be able to keep Sparta from move the ball close towards the goal.
Jordan, that's
Ooh, and Sparta, sorry to interrupt you, Anthony, but the Scorer seemed to have fallen on himself there.
And here's
Tripped over the
Kennedy.
ball. Sean Kennedy alone out there, nobody around. Maybe with a little help, might have been able to make something happen, but we still sit at 1-0 with a mighty punt again from the Sparta keeper.
Well, Hills is starting to turn it on here. You saw Jared Ostern and Evan Baum win yet another battle for a ball and gave a nice lead pass to Kennedy, just wasn't able to capitalize. The offense here for Wayne Hills is really starting to come alive as we come within 18 minutes of the final.
You know, John, well, as you say, they are coming alive. The score still is 1-0 here in the second half. They haven't been able to put the ball in the net so far through the second half. But, you know, I sort of look to see if they can make something happen in the last half of the second half.
Well, Jordan, they are starting to get a lot more opportunities than they had in the first half. In the first half, they really capitalized on the few opportunities that they had. So now with more opportunities available, I think they'll be able to put one in the back of the net.
And by gosh, Anthony, I hope so.
Wayne Hills' zone defense has really been rotating. It almost looks like a basketball type of defense where they cover their zone and shift over to where the ball is, and they've done a great job of denying any golden opportunities for Sparta, as they really haven't been able to get anything going in the box.
And a little bit of contact there. Looked a little awkward, but no whistle. And Jason Gold is going to check back in for
The sophomore, Mike Lokentor.
Thanks for that, Brandon. Couldn't really see, you know, who was coming off the field. So much movement. So Hills will be taking control on the throw, and that is quite a throw in there for Hills as they try to make something happen here and prevent Sparta from scoring the game. Nice clear by Jared Ostern, able to be brought back in. And Evan Baum taking the ball down the field. Sends it out to Jake Brozier, who did score, as we mentioned, the first goal of the game. Junior with a shot, but it was right to the keeper for Sparta as he brings it out, and I look forward to another mighty punt. Boom, there it goes as we bring it out. About 15 minutes left here in the second half at Wayne Hills. Wayne Hills has a 1-0 lead on the Spartans of Sparta, New Jersey. Shot but wide left for Sparta. And, you know, Duke seemed to have that under control the whole way. And Kennedy, a nice play there. Seems to put a good ball out there. And we have a chance for a score here. Shot off the crossbar. Another shot. Oh, and a save by the Sparta keeper. What a great sequence of events for the Sparta keeper there. A missed opportunity for Wayne Hills on a couple chances. Wow, that is an excellent job by Hills to put themselves in those opportunities. They just weren't able to capitalize on it.
Well, my pick was almost perfect. I thought Max Zager was going to punch one in today, and he almost did right there. Hitting the top of the crossbar, and Junior's rebound was no good as well. That was the best opportunity we've seen for Hills in the second half.
And a mighty kick from the keeper. And I feel like I'm saying mighty all the time today as these big kicks keep coming out of nowhere. And they keep surprising me, but there's really no way for me to be able to describe these kicks besides mighty. Sparta trying to get an opportunity to score here. And it is cleared away by Kaufman as Kennedy tries to settle the ball here. Fancy footwork there from Junior as he tries to make something. Oh, and he seems to get hit from behind and thrown down, but no whistle. The refs are allowing a lot of physicality today. We've seen a lot of people get thrown to the ground and no calls, and it does seem to be going both ways.
The intensity has really picked up in the last 5 minutes or so. I mean, the coaches are getting into it. They're complaining to the referees. The players are going up and down the field without any regard for their own fitness. And I mean, at this point, the intensity is just off the charts. Something we didn't see yesterday in the girls' game when the 3-0 score. The girls never really got into it the way the guys are at this point.
Jordan, the one thing I'd like to say really quick is that you're back to your point on physicality. There is a lot of pushing and shoving going back and forth. But yesterday there was a yellow card for swearing. Like, I don't understand how you can. I guarantee people are swearing on the field right now. But if they can push somebody down and there's no yellow card, that's something I don't understand.
Well, it is also the girls' game. They are supposed to be a little bit cleaner than the boys. They are supposed to. They're expected to be a little bit nicer and not be using vulgar language. Junior, some fancy footwork, chance for a shot, puts it by the keeper. Oh, again off the post. Junior follows in another shot, saved by the keeper. Oh man, Hills is getting opportunities up the gazoo, but they're not able to finish so far in these past couple minutes in the second half. As Rubino puts it up to Kennedy, a nice header to Zager down the left side of the field, trying to maybe cross it and get something going. Wow, for Wayne Hills, they're getting lots of opportunities. They just can't finish.
Well, wow, Junior Regos has made some moves in the middle. I said it earlier, he's kind of eased into the game a little bit, but he really put on a show right there. Made 3 or 4 moves all by himself, had no teammates there to help him, and created his own opportunities, as you see Sparta with some room in the middle now.
And you can see now the teams, both of their benches seem to be getting a little more into it as they're stood up here. In the end, as we get towards the end of the second half, both teams are getting quite into this here. And, you know, for soccer, you know, it's good to see the bench players getting that into it. But, you know, for some reason there seem to be some more girls on the Sparta bench than there are on the Wayne Hills, so maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe they're distracted by the beautiful babies. I mean, maybe their goal is to let the beautiful babies know that they're money and that they want to party instead of focusing on the soccer game and trying to beat Wayne Hills. And another offsides card. People are going nuts about this one. That didn't seem to look like offsides to me, but the referee seemed to think it was, and that'll be the end of the run for Hills there on that opportunity.
You know, Jordan, I'm going to have to tend to agree with the fans there. It looked like Kennedy was clearly on sides, but like I said before, there's only 2 referees in these games, and they have to really just take a guess at whether they think the player was offsides because they're not following them all the way, and it cost Hills an opportunity there because Kennedy had the ball in space if they didn't make that offsides call.
And that bender on the kick back into the field curved. It was going right for the keeper for the goal kick, but it seemed to curve away. And it's not very often that you can see from our angle the ball's curved, but you know, from the ball boy being able to kick it, you were able to see the ball curve.
Looked to be a foul on Evan Bound there.
Thanks, Anthony.
I'm a professional. I know.
Chance for Sparta here. Duduque comes out of the net, able to make a save. And he just hits it out the back. Good job by the keeper, Mike Duduque, there to foil the opportunity for Sparta.
Well, you know, Sparta hasn't had that many chances, but when they come, Mike Duduque's been able to push them aside. He's just swatted at that ball and pushed it out of bounds, and Sparta's going to have their first corner kick of the afternoon.
And the corner isn't anywhere near where it needs to be. You hear the coach going nuts on his players, you know, saying you got to be kidding me after that corner kick.
That coach has been arguing all game, so that's the first thing that we've heard from him. A little rowdy.
And, you know, I think the coach's intensity is more of a motivation thing than it is, you know, getting down on his players. I really think he's trying to provide energy for his team as the game is coming down to the closing minutes, and they are in desperate need of a score. So, you know, we'll just have to see if it works for them. It's going to be interesting.
See, Kevin, I might disagree with that. I think he is just trying to beat it into his players and make them so low on themselves that they have no feelings but to come out and score to try to build themselves up again. Their Ilax signs should be torn to pieces by now, but it's all in hopes that they come out and they fight that much harder to score and tie this game.
Well, it's a very, that's a good point. It's very similar to the approach that Coach Olson takes with his players. You can many times you hear him on the sideline screaming at his players. Oftentimes it's profanities. Oftentimes it's not appropriate. And it seems to work for them. They were known for their 52 game. Was it 56, 50? 55 game winning streaks, excuse me.
Hey, third time's a charm for Kevin.
Thank you. It doesn't seem to be working for the Spartans today, but it's definitely a technique that works for Coach Olson.
And a ball out for Kennedy. Kennedy puts it up to Jason Golden, who just seems to lose the right control right away. Interesting decision there, the way he played that ball off the pass from Kennedy. Now, I don't believe there is any relation between Sean Kennedy and John F. Kennedy, but, you never know with, like, third cousins or sixth cousins or anything like that. We could be in the presence of royalty, folks. So maybe he's just so phenomenal that's where he got all of his skills from.
Well, if John F. Kennedy's leadership skills has any relation to do with Sean Kennedy's soccer skills, then Wayne Hills is in, they're in luck.
And the Hills defense seems to be foiling all the opportunities Sparta has to score. It's a nice play there by Zager on the Sparta defender. Oh, and that one was brutal. That was brutal.
See a card come out here.
See what it's going to be. It is a yellow. Seemed to be a yellow card that he pulled out on Zager. It seemed that he was going for the ball, but he did just miss it and go hit the player. We got 7 minutes and 9 seconds we just heard from the referee remaining in this game. Hills has a 1-0 lead here at Wayne Hills High School. Patriots up 1-0 on the Sparta Spartans. And boy, I could not get enough of that. A whole tongue twister, the Sparta Spartans. It's awesome. I just can't get enough of it. Oh, swing and a miss there from Jared Ostern, trying to clear the ball out of the zone. The ball, ooh, good hands there from Tyler Rubino on the kick in from the ball boy. This is the time you see how athletic these players really are. In between plays, a ball boy kicks a ball in, Rubino makes a catch or Ostern swings and misses trying to clear the ball out of the Hills zone. But that's, you see how athletic these kids really are.
And, if I can comment on Tyler Rubino's athleticism just for a second here. Tyler Rubino started on the JV team last year, plays first base. I like to think of him as kind of my understudy. We practiced together during the season, and, he's really excelled as a player, and I've watched him grow and get better. And I feel that he's gonna next year, and even this year in the outfield, he can really be a great help to this Wayne Hills Patriots team, as we've seen he has been in soccer too.
I just want to mention that this soccer game seems to be like a boxing match. How both teams keep going back and forth, and Wayne Hills led off with a big haymaker to begin the first round. The next couple rounds were going back and forth, and Hills just seems to be fighting for points right now, not really going for the knockout, although they have swung and a miss at a couple punches over the course of the game. We'll see if they can deliver that knockout punch before the 5 minutes, or they decide to finish the fight and see if they can win it on hopefully a unanimous decision.
Junior on the free kick. This has been a specialty all year. Oh.
And you could hear it there from the keeper. That ball hit him right in the chest, and I wonder if it's ever broken ribs. Just the ball itself has ever broken ribs. I'm sure it has. I mean, I'm sure it's giving concussions and all kinds of other things. But that did not sound good. And when things don't sound good, it's normally not good. Sparta, an opportunity here. But Brandon Hill able to clear it out and just sort of get it out of the Wayne Hill zone, waiting for something else to happen.
See, an interesting move here. Benny Titel's going to replace Junior Ragosa, who's really been the playmaker for Hills on offense. So Coach Graham going in with a defensive lineup, trying to play a little prevent defense here and not let Sparta get anything going on the offensive end.
I just want to point out that a lot of times the prevent defense, the only thing it does is prevent you from winning. I mean, I'm not a fan of the prevent defense. I like keep bringing the pressure always, often and always for both teams.
I really think that Coach Graham, there hasn't been a lot of scoring, obviously, in this game. And I really think that, they're trying to just run out the clock here and end this game at a 1-0 game. I don't really think they're going for that one more goal. I think they're just going to start play defense and, try and win this game 1-0.
And back to the boxing analogy. They're fighting for points right now, waiting for the cards.
And that was a free kick by Josh Kaufman.
And again, another missed opportunity for Hills as the keeper comes out of the goal and is only able to tip it, not able to put it in.
Jordon, it appears that stoppage time is going to begin now at 3 minutes.
There must be a good amount of stoppage time because they are stopping so early. They want to give either a lot or a little. They want to give the players ample time to try to score here as they stop the clock with about 3 minutes left. And Hills has a corner kick right now.
That was horrible.
Seemed to be a little bit of a mishit there. Nothing Hills able to do. Shot. Goal for Wayne Hills. Kaufman puts it in on the ground on the left side of the goal, and that seems to be the haymaker to knock out the Sparta Spartans as they score and make the score 2-0 late in the second half in what seems to be stoppage time, and the keeper is very frustrated with himself for Sparta after that play. Kaufman, with so much congestion in the box, able to somehow sneak it through. It was like he was controlling it with a remote control, putting it through all the Sparta defenders and finding its way into the back of the net.
With about 3 minutes to go, it looks like Wayne Hills will advance to the second round of states. This could be a special year for this team. They have some talent. If they play as a team, they could be very good.
That was
a little bit of contact there. You could hear it. Just like I said before. Ooh, fancy. Oh, you could hear everyone sort of upset after that one. The fancy footwork and then the trip on Benny Titel. And it's not about it. We got a Sparta defender here throwing it in, number 15 with blonde hair and what seems to be some sort of a bandage on his right leg. But didn't affect his throwing abilities as he was able to throw it. Now you see him pulling the sock over that bandage, and he was able to get it downfield, but nothing doing for Sparta as they try to pressure as much as they can as we're in stoppage time now here at Wayne Hills. Wayne Hills now has a commanding 2-0 lead, and Sparta's pretty much down for the count at this point.
That was just a great shot by Josh Kaufman to put the nail in the coffin and seal up the victory for Wayne Hills. They'll most likely head into the quarterfinals of the state playoffs, and we'll see how far this team can go because they've had a great season. I mean, they've really turned it around from years in the past, and they have a lot of promise, a lot of seniors on this team, so this is the year for them to really make a run.
Could not have said that better, Vittas, with your excellent play on words. Kaufman and Coffin, excellent. Marvelous, delectable.
John, I would just like to point out to all our listeners out there, Jon Vittas isn't just a statistical man. I know you hear him during the football games mention nothing but the statistics. And these soccer games, you've been able to hear his point of view on a lot of things, and you're able to hear his personality. And, a lot of people don't know he has a personality because they're so used to hearing him just rattle off all the important stats that are necessary. But Jon Vittas is quite the TV personality. And the coach for Sparta is just as interested as we are right now in where the girls are going to be playing at 4 o'clock when this game's about to start. As we mentioned, the state game started at 2 o'clock, so all the rest of the regular high school games will be starting momentarily as we reach the end of regulation here and the end of the state game, with Wayne Hills in a 2-0 lead as Jake Brozier just clears the ball in empty space trying to kill time.
Fair catch it.
And stone hands from the Sparta coach there as he drops the ball on a kick put out of bounds right near him.
Wayne Hill's just taking their time, passing the ball, carefree, playing a lot of more defense back, just trying to protect the 2-0 victory and make it to the second round of states.
And Jason Gold on a tackle there. Excellent job. And that'll be it here as Wayne Hills beats Sparta 2-0 on 2 goals scored by 2 seniors, Jake Brozier and Josh Kaufman. And we'll be back right after this with the post-game report, interviews, and analysis.
All this hype about the defense, and it's been true in this game, playing very nice defense.
Oh, Wayne Hills Patriots! Ariel Danziger off the deflection of Alyssa Baselli. And just like we were talking about before, how important momentum is in this game. The Wayne Hills Patriots get the first goal in this huge county final, and the Wayne Hills Patriots are on top 1-0.
It's Patriots putting a lot of defenders in the box. Ryan looking for help, and that is it! That is their final. The Wayne Hills Patriots have just defeated the Wayne Valley Indians in the Passaic County final. Girls soccer, Wayne Hills 1, Wayne Valley nothing. They are your 2005 Passaic County champion.
I'm here with Jake Brozier, the goal scorer for the Wayne Hills Patriots, senior. Now, Jake, take us through the goal you scored earlier in the game, and what did you see happen and how to develop?
Well, I just saw the goalie come out of the net, so I just chipped it over his head, and it went in.
Now you're going to play Montville in your next game of the state tournament. What do you know about them, and how do you expect to come out?
Another pretty good team. They have a good record. They have some kids that I've played with since I was little. It's going to be a tough game. Hopefully we can take them.
All right, thank you. Now we're going to bring in Josh Kaufman. Josh, you're the captain of the team, senior leader. You put in a goal today as well. Tell us what went through your mind during that shot.
I saw the ball rolling out. My teammate Jake Brozier looked at me. He gave me the dummy. I had the angle, and I just put it away. Easy.
I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Jake. You're going to play Montville in the next round. What do you know about them?
They have 2 players that used to play club with me. They're a very creative team, and it should be a good game.
Now, being the captain, you know the capabilities of this team. How far do you think you can go? Can you go all the way, or what is it going to take?
I think we have the ability to go all the way. There's not a team that can stop us when we play our game.
All right, thank you, Jake. Now that'll do it here from Wayne Hills High School. I'm Jon Vittas. For all our announcers, Jordon Kessel, Kevin Solomon, Anthony Scudillo, Brandon Rosenbloom, I am Jon Vittas. Join us next time.